All right, hello, I'm Jacob from Sabotage,
I'm Bryn, also from Sabotage.
and this is
Kyle from Versus Self, Self Versed Records, and Gate.
fucking awesome. No introduction necessary, but thank you for coming on today. We wanted to have a conversation with you, bro.
Thanks for having me on.
Um, so we just wanted to ask, if this was like your first, if this was the first time anybody had, like heard of your band or anything you've done, what would you show them? Like what three songs would you show them?
I'd probably show them the newest two for sure. Um, Probably just the newest three.
Just the newest three. All
Yeah,
right, and what are those called so people can find it?
so we have Desert Part Two, which was part of a compilation that was put out by Not Just a Phase and Zegama Beach Records, and then wait, no, that was Francis that was on that one.
Awesome.
Francis is the one that I just described that was on that.
Awesome.
Desert Part 2 was put out by a Realo emo comp.
Awesome.
Um and then we have our newest song, Tide and Swell, which was part of a four-way split between us, Numb Ears, Catalyst, and Party Hats.
Those are the top three you would show somebody. Are those your top three favorite to perform live, or do you have like like what's your favorites to perform live?
Yeah, I'd say probably those.
Probably those. Okay.
Yeah, another one that we really like playing is Despair. Um, that one's not exactly new, but
Right.
uh
But it's fun.
newer than like the album. Yeah, and
Right.
it's just yeah, it's really fun.
A lot of energy, stuff like
Hmm.
that.
You
Yeah.
mentioned Party Hats. They're from our neck of the woods.
Oh yeah, they
Jake,
are.
they're
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
uh,
you guys are from Texas. That
We're in
explains
Texas.
the 2 hour difference.
The dirty South. Yep.
Yeah.
dirty down there.
Down and dirty in the
Yeah,
dirty
it's
South.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
out in
you're from like the Denton Fort Worth area or
Not
no.
really, but Texas is so big that like,
Mhm.
this fifth of Texas is our neck of the woods. So
Yeah.
it's just big. But Denton Fort Worth is a very cool scene.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
The Waco scene is
The
also
Waco
very,
scene is
very
also they're so tight, man. They're all so close together. They just love like helping each other out and like showing up to each other's stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
But yeah.
I'm all about that.
Your
So,
favorite memory is like performing, like just as a band, as a group, whatever. One of your favorite things.
oh man.
Like a favorite venue or something.
I always really loved like venue wise, I always really loved playing at my old house.
Awesome.
Mente Casa. We had Party Hats there. We've had Catalyst there. And those were always the funnest ones, is when
Right.
like there was a band coming from elsewhere and traveling and
right.
being able to host them at my house special for a lot of reasons. That was part of our first like what I would consider a real tour. It was like 10 days. Yeah.
It's just big. But Denton Fort Worth is a very cool scene.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
The Waco scene is
The
also
Waco
very,
scene
very
is also they're so tight, man. They're all so close together. They just love like helping each other out and like showing up to each other's stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool.
But yeah.
I'm all about that.
What is your like one of your favorite memories like performing, Like just as a band, as a group, whatever. One of your favorite things.
Oh man.
Like a favorite venue or something.
Yeah. I always really loved like venue wise, I always really loved playing at my old house.
Awesome.
Mente Casa. We had Party Hats there. We've had Catalyst there. And those were always the funnest ones, is when
Right.
like there was a band coming from elsewhere and traveling and
right.
being able to host them at my house and
Right.
have a bunch of people there who are all giving them a warm welcome, and it was always, yeah, I don't know, it just always felt really special. Outside of that, um let's see, I'm trying to think of like a special moment. I think one of the first like really big feeling shows that we played was the Terragram in LA. Um and it was it should have been yeah, July 23rd of last year, and it was really cool because like we played two shows in the same day. um
Right.
and anniversary of me getting sober special for a lot of reasons. That was part of our first, like, what I would consider a real tour. It was like 10 days, little 2-day runs, 3-day runs, which were still fun and cool, but that was the first one where it's like I feel like I can call this a tour without it
Yeah,
being
that's
like,
really cool.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and it was with like all our best friends, Numir's party hats
Well,
were on it.
what's going on, man?
What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
We're doing an interview with Kyle from Versus. So
Type shit. Can I use your restroom?
yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Sorry, that's our boy.
It's all good.
That was weird. We live in, it's one of those duplexes, so we don't. The living room's not part of our apartment, so we had to come in through one. That's really cool though. On tour. Who are some bands you're really into right now?
Oh man. I'm gonna go with bands that I've seen live for the first time recently who like
Okay,
kind of blew me
awesome.
away.
Okay.
So I'd say first, because I'm wearing the shirt, so it comes to mind, is Senza. They were so sick.
They're
Like
so good.
super chaotic, but still super tight live. Like at least, and I think they said on that whole tour, basically, whenever they could help it, they weren't using microphones. You could still
That's
hear them
crazy.
perfectly.
That is
Like,
awesome.
yeah. So yeah, they were super sick. And then Kicked in the Head by a Horse, which, to be honest, like I didn't really expect to like them as much as I do, because lately I've been it's hard. I guess with Senza too. Like it's not often that like a heavier band these days will really catch my interest. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I think I'm getting old or something. Like like I like the heavy stuff that I like, but I feel like
Right.
I have enough of it kind of. So I'm always like looking out for more mellow shit, I feel like. But
What's
they
some
were
mellow
just
shit you're into?
I mean, as far as new stuff, I mean,
Yeah.
not new, but stuff that I got into
Right.
more recently. I've been like obsessed with Waxahachie. I'm trying to think of other new stuff that I've heard recently.
That's
I
all
don't
right,
know.
man.
That's the
That's all
only
right.
one
Hey,
that comes to mind.
that's
But
all right. Yeah. Um, so you were talking about Sinza.
Mhm.
Let's see. So you were talking about what was it that like they captured your attention? Like what about
Yeah.
them, made it feel so special?
I think for Senza, and then the other band was Kicked in the Head by a Horse.
Right.
With both of them, it was like their live show was super intense and like super tight, super like they were you
Uh-oh. Let's see. So we talk about, obviously you're a musician. So we talk about music. What do you do? What do you do when you're not doing music? What do you do fill your time with when you're doing anything else?
I run a lot.
Oh yeah.
Uh yeah, so I've been running like half marathons pretty
Oh,
regularly.
that's cool.
Um I just got into like trying to skateboard again. Like I
Okay.
don't I don't really do any tricks or anything like that. I kind of
Mhm.
just have like an old school board and I just like to ride around, or like I'll go to the skate park and just like kind
Right.
of like
Right.
carve the ramps or whatever, probably like
Right.
piss everyone there off,
They call
but
you a poser and stuff.
probably yeah, like I'm there on my penny board and like just fucking acting like I'm carving the ramp like a wave. They're
Push
probably laughing.
Mongo.
Okay, I've pushed Mongo like my entire life. I posted on my story the other day that again, like I've put it out there many times because I think it's funny. Um, but basically someone DM'd me and they were like, I pushed Mongo for a while too, and literally all it takes to stop doing it is just to decide you're not going to do it anymore and
Very
just never
conscious
do it
choice.
again. Yeah, it's like, and so yesterday I kind of like I was like with my family for Father's Day, and I just brought my skateboard with me, and every once in a while I just like would go out to their street and push up and down the street, not Mongo. And by
Right.
the end of it, I was pretty comfortable with it. So I think it's literally just getting past the very first
Right.
like oh, this sucks. I can't do this. I can push much faster the other way. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go back to that.
Well,
But
are
if
you
you
are
Nothing
you
wrong with pushing Mongo.
no, it's like, are you left-handed? Is that why? Or is it just
no,
no?
I'm
Oh,
right-handed. I
that's
ride
funny.
regular, and then like, yeah, I don't know. I
That's the
mean,
thing that happens.
yeah, I have my body's all fucked up. Like I have
Mm,
like I have like kyphosis and I have like a knock knee. So I
okay.
think maybe my center of gravity is off or some
I
shit.
see. Yeah.
But I don't know. It would just be much easier to not push Mongo so I don't have to like every
You don't
time
have to
I
Right.
jump
push.
all the way around to get yeah.
Yeah, like rearrange how my foot is sitting. I could
Right, I
just leave
see.
my foot where it's at and push and like keep, yeah, it would just be easier. So
Well then. That's
yeah.
awesome. So you skateboard and you run. Do you run like competitively or is it just like a hobby
No,
thing? No.
yeah, just a hobby. Just
That's
for
good.
like health,
Yeah.
hobby. I feel like it helps me a lot mentally. Like for one thing, it's just like I'm kind of on my phone all the fucking time. Just like for one thing, you know, all the band stuff that I do is on the phone, all the record label stuff that I do is on the phone. And then it's really just like designed to be addicting.
Oh yeah.
So fucking addicted to it,
How many
but
hours a day do you think you spend on like Instagram Reels or TikTok or
I don't I honestly like I don't do TikTok at all.
Okay. Yeah.
But as far as reels, not that much. It's really mostly what I'm doing on there is like talking to people.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's just so many messages and I like
Yeah, I
try to
understand.
answer them all. And of
Right.
course, like if I do anything more than just like something, chances are they're gonna reply. So
Yeah,
then,
right.
it
Have
just
a
goes.
conversation. Set up an
Yeah.
interview for Zoom or something.
Yeah.
um, something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's super cool. I knew a guy when I was like in high school. I knew a guy who he ran his entire life from like when he was a child to like when he's like 70 something now, and he is in better shape than like 40-year-olds. So
Mhm.
it's gotta be good for you. He's gotta know something. So
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely have noticed a big change, both mentally and physically, like
right.
since I started running again. So
Well, I'm you know what? I'm glad. I'm glad you feel good. I'm glad you're in good health. That's gonna
yeah,
make
thank you.
this, you know what? Honestly, we have to move on to our most important question.
Mhm.
Do you like Dragon Ball?
I never got into it.
Oh, okay. Well, it was nice
Yeah.
having you. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Yeah, I remember seeing it all the time, like on Toonami and shit when I was a
yeah,
kid. And I would check it out every once in a while.
right.
It was just like back then, I feel like if you didn't have it on DVD or something,
Yeah,
it would be
Oh, that's true. Also, yeah.
like, yeah, it would have been super hard to get into it
that's
because it's
true.
like, yeah, like I would catch an episode here or there, but I don't
It's
really know
already
what's
like
going on.
even now it's like hard because like I would never do this, but you have to illegally stream it like online because it's not
Mhm.
really on anything. So
Oh, yeah,
again, I would never, but like,
yeah.
Zekai's on Hulu. Okay. Well, but yeah. I mean, I'm not,
I feel like the majority of the rest of the questions we have lined up we're very Dragon Ball centric, so
Okay, we can figure it
we'll
out.
figure something out. Don't worry.
Anything going on with you guys? Any big plans? I know you got some shows lined up.
Yeah, we have. So right now we have two California dates with newfound interest in Connecticut, which I'm super excited about. I've liked their music for a long time, so it's cool to be able to play with them. And then we have in October, we're doing, or I guess I'll go August 1st because that's what's coming up
Right.
first. We have New Friends Fest in Toronto, Canada,
Hmm.
with Seisha and Rain and like
You're playing with
so
Seisha.
they're on that one, right? I think so. Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool.
I could be mixing it up. I'm pretty sure Seisha's on that. Um,
That's really cool if you are. They're really talented. I love Seisha.
yeah, let me double check because I there's like so many bands on that.
Yeah.
I've seen Seisha recently, so am I just mixing it up with that? Uh, yeah, Seisha, Jerome's Dream, Newfound Interest is on that as
Jerome's
well.
Dream.
Yeah. It's actually too like so we're playing the first day of that.
Yeah.
And then for those who don't know, the other two members of Versus Self are also in Numb Years. And so
Yes.
so Numb Years is doing like a whole tour with Jerome's Dream after that.
That's awesome.
That's so tight.
That is
Yeah.
such a
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna like stay back so I can watch the other 2 days with
right.
the
Yeah, of
rest.
course.
Yeah, but like yeah, that's super cool for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then after that, in October, Best Friends Fest in Las Vegas, which is
Right.
another insane lineup. Like New Friends Fest has all the like old screamo bands and
Yeah,
new
I had seen
screamo
stuff.
bands and stuff. Best Friends Forever Fest is like all the more emo side stuff
Yeah, I
that
see.
really got at least me, I think the other two, really into playing the type of music that we play, like
Yeah.
Algernon Cadwallader,
Yeah.
Bray,
Stuff. Oh
uh,
man, they're so
Cap
cool.
and Jazz,
Yeah.
American Football, Bright Eyes, which is
Yeah.
insane
Now,
to
when
be
you
on the
you s-
same
you say
lineup as
s-
them.
you say like you're talking about these guys, would you say like these are the bands that inspired like I guess the sound you're going for? Because I mean most people would call you guys a screamo band, right? So
Yeah, so
your last
yeah,
FM profile calls you a screamo band.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
so I feel we're very influenced by screamo. We
right.
obviously scream, um, but I feel like we're more screamo adjacent. Like
Yeah.
I feel like we're more in the realm of like emo and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Because when I think of screamo, I think of stuff that's way more chaotic than we are.
Yeah.
A lot heavier, a lot faster. I mean, it's still fast, heavy with pretty parts.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what I think of when I
A
think of
real
screamo.
melodic kind of emo kind of. I see
Yeah.
what you mean. I know exactly what you mean, man. That's awesome.
But
So what bands would you say like inspire your sound? Or at least like when you guys started,
Mhm.
who were you inspired by at that time? Who did you want to be?
Definitely my favorite band was Braid, and that's who I
Fuck
wanted to be more
yes.
than anyone else. But
Fuck yes.
but
Love
I don't think we ever got anywhere near that. And then like I think what more inspired our sound was bands like 1994, who like I definitely was, especially writing Worthless, like
Yeah,
that song I was trying to be 1994.
that's
And
cool.
then Explosions in the Sky, like at the beginning of Wake, I'm trying to be Explosions in the Sky with one guitar instead of like three
Right.
guitars and a bass. Man, what else? I mean, there was a lot of like
Oh yeah.
Two Nights. Two Nights was a huge one, obviously.
Two nights, yeah.
Um, Algernon was huge, still is
Right.
huge.
They're
Um,
awesome.
yeah, they're like that's honestly probably the best live band I've ever seen.
They are, man, I've never seen them live, but their music is so different from so much other stuff. It is so good.
Mhm.
They are
Yeah,
so awesome.
yeah. I think that's too like, like an inspiration too is like you don't have to sound exactly like everyone else.
Yeah.
You just kind of do whatever not even that like even when I do try to write like other people, I feel like I'm just not good at emulating other people's styles. So I just have no choice but to just sound how I sound. you know?
But you know what? You do a great job at it because
Thank you.
your band, rocks. So you're
Thank you.
doing a
Yeah.
great job. Let's see. Do you have any questions? Anything you want to say?
You said you weren't big on Dragon Ball.
Oh yeah.
Just to circle back, do you fuck with like any shonen type animes like that? Like Bleach, Naruto, shit in that vein?
Um, Not really. I don't know exactly what shonen means as far as anime,
Oh
but
yeah, yeah.
the only thing that comes to mind that might be is Samurai Champloo like?
Okay.
Would you
Okay.
call that like that, or I don't know what
For
it's what.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Shonen is it basically just means like fight animes. So like
Mhm.
animes that are about fight big fight scenes and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
meathead men fighting, that kind of stuff. So
yeah. I think that's like adjacent then.
well, okay,
Yeah.
if you don't fuck with shonen, that's totally cool.
Mhm.
Is there any anime you watch? Like anything like that? What are you
Not
into?
much, but
Not
like
much.
that one,
Okay.
Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, of course. Classic.
Yeah, like the ones where like even if you don't fuck with anime,
Even if you
it's like
don't,
these
yeah.
ones are just good.
Right, yeah.
Like even if it's not exactly your thing, you'll
Yeah.
probably like this.
Yeah. And then like Ghibli movies, stuff like
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
even if you don't fuck with
definitely.
anime, they're just good, so.
Hmm.
Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite Ghibli movie?
Um.
You can be basic, it's fine. Mine is
I
Howl's
don't
Moving
know.
Castle, which is like the the
Yeah.
answer. So
I mean, so I mean, Kiki's Delivery Service
yeah,
comes to
Classic.
mind.
it's a good one.
Yeah, like we had a shirt design based on
Oh,
that
that's
movie.
so cool.
And at the time like when that shirt design because basically what happened was my my friend Colin, who does Milk Crate merch, was like, I want to make you guys an anime shirt. And
Hmm.
I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. Like, I'm not super into anime, but my partner is
Right,
really into anime. Like
right.
they're into all the shonen stuff and shit like
Okay,
that.
awesome.
So I was like, they're really into anime and they're really into cats. So like if we're gonna do an anime shirt, it would be cool if it also had a cat on
If it
there.
also had a cat, right?
Yeah, and then so I was like, I remember this movie from when I was like a little younger, so
That's
let me
awesome.
like rewatch it, make sure that it holds up and shit. And at the time, I was feeling so burnt out. Like, so I was taking on way too much with like the record label. Um,
Self-versed.
yeah,
That's
to
it,
the point where I was missing shows that I really wanted to go to
Oh man.
because I had so many tapes that I had to get done by a certain time. Like before I think we were like getting ready to go on tour and I was working on tapes that I like needed to get to people before I left and stuff. So there were shows that I couldn't go to and I was just like, this really sucks that like it's awesome. Like I'm doing music for like to sustain myself.
Yeah,
So
right.
like obviously I'm never going to complain about that. But I
Right.
was just starting to feel like why is this why is why are making these tapes
Yeah.
getting in the way of me actually going out and enjoying music? Like
Yeah, man,
this
you can burn down on anything. I mean,
yeah.
you do anything too much,
Mhm.
Now, you said something that was interesting. You know the person who does Milk Crate merch.
Mhm.
Cool that you know him. That's a small world, huh? But
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I met him from him like
right.
hitting us up to do merch for us
Right.
and then he's like stayed at my house a few
That's
times.
funny.
He's come on like parts of tours with us and stuff. So, yeah, he's cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, so basically when I watched that movie at that time, to me what that movie was basically at least what I took from it, I don't know if this was like the intention of
Mhm.
the movie, but it seemed like it had something to do with her doing something that she loved, which was
Yeah.
like for her flying and
Yeah.
taking that and making it her career and how she like sustains herself. And then she kind of lost the ability to even do it. Like she couldn't even
Right.
fly anymore. And it was like it read to me like burnout in that. You know what I mean? So I was just like
Yeah.
it super hit close and
That's
it like
cool. Yeah.
yeah, it was relatable as hell to me. So I was just like,
You know
yeah,
what? A
this is
t-shirt
cool.
with a message.
Yeah.
You know what? You only ever find those at like shops on the beach. So it's But
Yeah.
usually the
Yeah.
message is like like something your uncle wears. So it's cool that yours is
Yeah.
like actually meaningful. So let's see. Anything else? Anything you want to add?
No, I really appreciate that sentiment. That's a it's a very 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 nice way to look at that movie and its intent. I feel like very
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know. Ever since then, I've just been like, I'm lying. I'm lying right now. Because I was gonna say ever since then I've tried to like really make sure that I'm not taking on more than I can handle and shit.
Right, but
there was a while not too long ago where I was doing 2 releases every week. Definitely, like I was
Yeah.
almost constantly just doing that. But yeah, so because of those 2 times, now I'm like
Yeah. Well, okay,
wanting to
now
take on shit when I know that I
right.
have time for it, and like, yeah, because I want to like I love being able to help bands put out physical media,
Right.
and I want to keep being able to do that. I want to keep enjoying it, so I don't want to burn myself out on it.
Yeah, I can understand that. You want to do this forever, right? So
Mhm.
why would you, do it all right now and then hate it, right? So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
really cool sentiment, and I'm glad you're, taking that journey of, whatever, taking care of yourself, making sure you can keep going on.
Mhm.
Um, let's see. Did you have any final things you want to say? Where can people find you? Anything like that?
Um, I'll say, as far as personal stuff, I would say, you probably already follow Versus Self.
Right.
So if you don't follow Self Versed Records, I think it's got a bunch of underscores.
Awesome.
I only have Instagram for anything, so
We'll
it's
we'll tag them on the post, so don't worry. They'll be able to
yeah.
find it.
And then my new band Gate, which is Gate Band with no underscores on
Mhm.
Instagram. That one's it's still like just me and a drummer, but
Right.
this one's like kind of no vocals. I do some weird shit on the vocals
Right.
where it's like almost like turning my voice into a synth, but that one's more like math rock,
Awesome.
straight math rock.
That on Spotify, Apple Music, Bandcamp, stuff like that?
Not
Not yet?
yet. No, we're just doing shows right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we want to come out with like a full length
Oh, I
first
see.
for that,
Okay.
because it just feels, I don't know, it just feels right for that project.
Yeah.
So um yeah, we've got like 6 songs right now, and I think we want to get maybe like 2 to 4 more and then record them. So
Well, that's awesome. So, yeah, check all your stuff, all your message. That's awesome, bro. Thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you guys being here. This is our first video interview, so
oh hell yeah.
yeah, we got
Yeah.
some other ones on the page, but they're all text, emails and stuff like that. So it's really cool to talk to you, man. Had a really good time. Keep on doing what you're doing. Awesome stuff. Hope to hear you guys some more from you guys soon.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for having me on. And then just one more thing, uh, I would want to say, like, you know, um, free Palestine. It's I just saw something today from Jack Black where he's like, it's crazy to me how like the Zionists and everyone, all of their messaging is like the exact same type of stuff that you're going to hear from people who are like standing up against what's happening and saying this is a genocide. They're all going to be like saying things that are going to make you question like what is actually happening. Like,
Yeah.
I would say just like look at the facts, look what's actually happening,
Mm-hmm.
look at who's actually dying.
Yeah.
Don't let don't let mainstream. I've sorry, this is
It's
like a
okay.
big
Yeah.
rant right at the end.
It's
Don't
okay. We love it.
I've like after posting stuff about like saying like, what's happening right now is a genocide, like
Mm-hmm.
free Palestine, like end, like after saying shit like that, I've had people come into our DMs acting like they are like somehow being punk rock and
Yeah.
like telling me you can't listen to everything you
Yeah.
hear, that's not what's really going on, blah blah
Right.
blah blah blah. And it's like, how are you going to tell me that I can't listen to everything I hear and this and that when you're literally believing
Yeah.
all of the propaganda that the mainstream media and the government is doing, and you're on the side of like you're on the side of the oppressor, and you're gonna be like, you're listening to everyone else. It's like, no, I have
You are
my
fake
eyes
punk.
open, and you should open your eyes too to what's actually going on.
Yeah, man, I agree. You know, and the thing
Yeah.
they say, like, you can't just listen to the mainstream media. The mainstream media is so not for, you know, Palestine at all. Like, even like
Mm-mm.
CNN is very like, Israel just took another bomb from blah blah blah. You know, places even like the
Yeah.
most leftist mainstream media you can find is still pushing really heavy. We're supposed to be on Israel's side. You know, our government
Mhm.
totally completely on Israel's side with funding and,
Mhm.
you know, weapons and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's, you know, whatever. It sucks, you know, especially with mainstream. A lot of people pushing like no, Israel's really the victim here. Israel, you know,
Mhm.
really didn't even exist until Palestine had been there for however many hundreds of years. So right.
Mhm.
They just put
Yeah.
themselves there. So
Yeah. And it's I would say if you're confused at all about what's going on there, a good book would be that I would recommend reading would be The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine by, I don't know how to pronounce the person's name. It's like Ilan Pape, something like
okay.
that. Um, and basically that book is a lot about what was happening in 1948, the Nakba,
Yeah.
uh, and it goes into a lot of Israel's whole tactic, even back then, was to try to push as hard as they could to
Mm-hmm.
get the Palestinians to attack them back.
Yeah.
That way they could say, from then on, everything we're doing now is
Yep.
self-defense.
It's
We're
self-defense.
defending
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
And that it
They love to talk
finally
about
happened.
Hamas.
Exactly.
They
It
love to talk about
finally
Hamas and
happened.
Hamas terrorist attacks, but you know, I mean, it's
Mhm.
just it's not fair to the millions of people that live in that country when when one small terrorist group, you know, might, you know, goes a little bit too far. And I mean, there's arguments to be made about what even they were doing about, you know, like fighting back, but you
Mhm.
can agree, you know, they went a little bit too far, you know, doing concerts or whatever, but like even then, you know, that does not justify, you know, the hospitals and the schools and stuff
Mhm.
like that. I mean, there's that video of like the Israeli soldiers like wearing the doctor's gowns and like breaking into a hospital and stuff. It is
Mhm.
just fucked up what they're doing, and they are just using Hamas as like as an excuse to, you know, to fight them, to be like, well, we were only hunting Hamas people and these are just casualties, right? You know,
Yeah.
it is a
Yeah.
genocide. You just got to say
Mhm.
it.
Yeah. It's totally they want 100% of the people in the
Mhm.
area to be them.
Yeah.
So they don't want anyone else there.
Nope.
They obviously don't give a fuck about the land. They're bombing it all to hell. All this, like all this land that these people have been cultivating for their entire lives,
Yeah.
for not even their lives, their like whole lineages,
Yeah.
really care about this land and have been taking care of it.
Yeah.
And then these people who claim that like, oh, we have the right to this land,
Yeah.
obviously don't even give a fuck about it because they're bombing the living shit out of it and destroying it.
They say all
So
the,
it's
you know, it's like, oh, it's the Holy Land, but they understand this is the Muslim Holy Land too, right? Like this is both of your Holy Land, so you can't be like it's our home because they think the same thing. So you can't, you know, to be
mhm.
like, well, they're wrong and we're right is so narrow-minded, you know.
Yeah.
If that was
Yeah.
even the worst of what they were doing, right?
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I think just I would say the thing that I want to say more than anything is just don't let
right.
the idiots who are trying to convince you that
Yeah.
you're on the wrong side of
Yeah.
history for not wanting
Mhm.
ethnic cleansing to happen.
Mhm.
Don't let them get you twisted up and try to make you feel like you're anti-Semitic or something
Yeah,
for it.
right.
Right.
Like the fact is Zionists and Jewish people are different.
They
There's
are
two
very
it's
different.
you
Two
can
very
be a
different
get
things.
you could be completely like fuck Zionist 100%
Mhm.
fuck Israel and like does
And
not make
still
you anti-Semitic.
Right.
So
right,
like
exactly.
don't get it twisted. Yeah.
But
I
you know
guess
what? That's a very good message to end on. You know, free
Mhm.
Palestine, BLM, trans rights, all that stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
So very good message to end on. It was really nice talking to you. We appreciate you coming on Sabotage. Really cool guy so far. You know, hope to hear some more stuff from you. Is there anything you want to say?
You know, keep on rocking in the free world. Do doodaloo do. You know.
Dude.
We have to know. All
Yeah.
right. Well, it was really nice talking to you, man. Thank you.
You too. Yeah. Thanks for having me.